The Erne. You're standing at the kitchen line and the ball floats just high enough to tempt your opponent. But instead of hitting a basic volley, they vanish and reappear midair, outside the sideline, slamming the ball straight down before their feet even touch the ground. That's the Erne. It looks illegal and feels unfair, but it's 100% within the rules, as long as you jump outside the kitchen and land outside it too. The key is timing. You have to predict the dink is going to be a little high and launch yourself before the shot is hit. Named after Erne Perry, who pulled it off so often people just started calling it his shot, the Erne is a favorite of pros, like Tyler Leung. It's flashy, powerful, and absolutely soul-crushing when it lands clean. No one expects a flying body from the side of the court, and that's why it works. The ATP. Here's the situation. Your opponent pulls you really wide, and the ball is so far outside the court, it looks like it's heading for the parking lot. But instead of giving up on the point, you sprint over, stretch out your paddle, and hit it around the net post, never over it, and somehow land it back in. That's the ATP, short for around the post. It's one of the only shots in sports that doesn't go over a net. And yes, it's perfectly legal in pickleball. The trick? The ball has to bounce outside the sideline with enough angle and height for you to curl it back in without hitting the net. There's no limit to how far off the court you can go. Pros like Ben Johns and Anna Lee Waters make this shot look routine, casually bending laws of geometry in the middle of a point. And when it lands, it's a mic drop moment. In a sport full of soft dinks and patience, the ATP is chaos in motion. The tweener. You're sprinting toward the back of the court because the lob just floated over your head. No time to turn, no chance to reset. You could let it go. Or you could swing your paddle between your legs, backwards, without looking, and somehow hit a perfect return. That's the tweener. Originally made famous in tennis, the tweener in pickleball is pure flair. It almost never makes tactical sense. And that's exactly why people love it. The ball doesn't have to be fast. It just has to be behind you. When that happens, the tweener becomes your last-ditch move. And sometimes it's your only option. The fake Erne. The Erne is already scary. But what's even worse? The fake Erne. Here's how it works. You act like you're about to leap across the sideline for a massive slam. You take that first explosive step. Your opponent panics and rushes their shot. But you never jump. You just stand there, smirking, paddle ready. The fake Erne is all about psychology. It's not even a shot. It's a bluff. But it forces your opponent to make mistakes. Dink too high, you punish it. Try to avoid you, they pop it up or hit the net. It's used by high-level players who understand that sometimes the threat is the trick. You don't even have to hit the ball to win the point. The Bert. The setup looks familiar. Your partner is dinking cross-court. The opponent thinks they've found a rhythm. Everything's quiet. Then suddenly, you come flying across the kitchen from the other side and slam the ball midair from your partner's half of the court. That's the Bert. It's the Erne on caffeine. Same airborne attack, but way more aggressive and way more chaotic. You cross the center line, take the ball early, and leave your teammate just hoping you land it clean. The Bert is flashy, fast, and completely unnecessary, unless you want to make a statement. Pull it off and the crowd goes wild. Miss it? Your partner probably wants a word. Either way, the Bert is one of the boldest trick shots in the game. The Kyle Yates. If there's one player whose name is a trick shot, it's Kyle Yates. His signature is not just one move, it's the way he combines them. This shot starts as a soft backhand dink, until, with a quick wrist flip, it transforms into a forehand speed-up, fired down the line, or straight through the middle before your opponent can react. The Kyle Yates special isn't about any single shot. It's about playing pickleball like it's jazz. Improvised, confident, and brilliant. And every once in a while, unguardable. The no-look shot. The no-look shot is exactly what it sounds like. You hit the ball without even watching it. Maybe you're staring down your opponent. Maybe you're pretending to look at a bird. Either way, your eyes are nowhere near the ball, but your paddle still finds it. It's part timing, part muscle memory, and part pure audacity. Sometimes it's a volley at the net. Other times it's a behind-the-back flick or a sneaky drop shot. The goal is to mess with your opponent's expectations and their pride. If you land a no-look clean, it's not just a point, it's a highlight. Your opponent stares at the ground, reevaluating every life decision that led them to this moment. Is it necessary? Absolutely not. Is it hilarious? Every time. The behind the back. You're caught off guard. The ball zips past your hip. There's no time to pivot, no room to reach across. But for some reason, your hand wraps behind your back like a circus act. And boom, the shot lands perfectly. That's the behind the back shot. It looks like something from a trick shot video. But in pickleball, it actually works. Because the court is small and the reaction time is fast, sometimes it's just faster to swing behind your back than to reposition. No, it's not the most consistent shot. Yes, it's completely absurd. But when it lands, you go from panicked amateur to viral hero in one swing. It's also a crowd pleaser. Even if you miss, people still cheer. Because honestly, the fact that you tried it says everything. The drop volley. This one doesn't look flashy, but when done right, it's as dirty as a behind-the-back winner. Say hello to the drop volley. You're at the net. The ball comes fast. Your opponent expects a punch volley, something aggressive. Instead, you just let the ball kiss your paddle. No swing, no power. Just a soft redirect that barely clears the net. The result? They're sprinting full speed into the kitchen while you're already walking to the other side of the court. The drop volley is part reflex, part feel, and all deception. It's not about power. It's about slowing the game down at the exact moment your opponent expects speed. It's the art of doing less and getting more. In a highlight reel of Erne and Tweeners, this one might not make the cut. But in a real match, it's brutal. And if you hit it with a no-look, the windshield wiper flick. The rally's heating up. You're dinking cross-court, soft and steady, when suddenly, snap. Your opponent flicks their paddle like a windshield wiper and rips a winner out of nowhere. That's the windshield wiper flick. It's not a full swing. It's not even a normal volley. It's a sneaky little wrist motion that sends the ball spinning cross-court or down the line with way more pace than it should have. The best part? It works from both the kitchen line and just behind it. And because there's barely any wind-up, it's almost impossible to read. 1 second, you think you're in a dink war. The next, the ball's screaming past your paddle. Players like J.W. Johnson and Ben Johns pull this one off all the time, and it never gets old. The Lob Reset. It's 0 to 60 in a rally. Your opponent is pounding drives. You're on defense. The point feels like it's spiraling out of control until you casually toss up a perfect lob. Not a desperation lob, a lob reset. This shot isn't just survival, it's a strategy. When the pace is too fast, a well-placed lob resets the rhythm, forces your opponent back, and gives you time to reclaim the kitchen line. But here's the trick. It has to be intentional. Too short, and you're handing them an overhead. Too long, and it's out. But just right, it floats above their head, arcs into the back third of the court, and flips the whole momentum. In a game where most players fear the lob reset is a flex. It says, I'm not panicking, I'm playing chess. It's not the flashiest move, but when you pull it off, it feels like a trick shot. The backspin drop shot. The ball's coming fast, you take it early, slice under it, and suddenly it just stops. That's the backspin drop shot. It looks simple, but it's a magician's move. Instead of trying to overpower your opponent, you disarm them. The ball floats just over the net, lands in the kitchen, and barely bounces. Sometimes, it even spins backward. The secret? Paddle angle and timing. You slice under the ball at contact, creating backspin that kills all forward momentum. It's especially nasty when used mid-rally, because it feels like you were about to hit a speed-up. Instead, your opponent lunges forward, way too late, and pops the ball up, or whiffs completely. It's subtle, surgical, and devastating. You're not just hitting a shot, you're setting a trap. The flick lob. You're dinking at the net. Everything's calm. Your opponent leans forward, ready for a soft return. But instead of another gentle dink, you flick your wrist and launch the ball over their head. That's the flick lob, the ultimate bait and switch. This shot fakes softness, then delivers chaos. It's executed with almost no backswing, just a sudden wrist pop. It looks like a dink until it's 10 feet in the air and sailing toward the baseline. It's not about power, it's about surprise. And when your opponent is creeping too far forward, this shot punishes them instantly. It's risky, sure, but when it lands, it's one of the most disrespectful shots in pickleball. Not because it's rude, because it exposes your opponent's positioning in the most public way possible. Hit it once, and they'll give you space forever. The body shot, aka Nasty Nelson. This one's not subtle. It's not delicate, and it's definitely not polite. The body shot is exactly what it sounds like. You aim right at your opponent's torso and let it fly. Why? Because it's smart. When someone's charging the net, there's no room to aim for their feet. And if they're holding the paddle out wide, their core becomes the target. It's the one place they can't get their paddle to fast enough. The trick isn't to blast it as hard as possible. It's to hit it just firm enough to cause panic. You're not trying to injure anyone. Just jam them up and force a pop-up or a whiff. Some players apologize after landing one. Others, not so much. But one thing's for sure. Once you've been tagged, you start backing off the kitchen line real quick. The off-the-net shot. You hit a shot, it clips the top of the net. Everyone freezes. Then, somehow, the ball tumbles over and lands just on the other side. That wasn't skill, but the return, that's where the trick shot comes in. Enter the off-the-net shot. When the ball dribbles over unexpectedly, your opponent usually rushes forward, desperate to get under it. But some players? They don't panic. They go full matrix, lunging, scooping, and slicing the ball back over with some wild off-balance save. It's not a move you practice. It's a move you invent on the spot. One hand, off balance, off the toe, off anything that works. It's improvisation meets instinct. And when it lands, you get a standing ovation and at least 5 Instagram DMs asking if you're a magician. Sometimes the coolest trick shots are the ones that weren't even supposed to happen. I'm going to be posting a lot more here, so I'd be grateful if you subscribe.